The battle within. You don't just wake up one day and become unstoppable. There's a storm behind every strong soul, a history behind every rise. People see the results, but rarely the scars. I wasn't born with greatness. I built it, piece by piece, pain by pain. There's a lot of thought behind a person society once called a loser, becoming someone unbreakable. It's not just a transformation of the body, it's the rewiring of a broken spirit. You can't fake that, you have to earn it. Every morning you rise, you have two choices. Stay where you are or step into discomfort. Most will stay, most will flinch. But I learned something powerful. Discomfort is the gateway. There's a process to getting better, and that process is never finished. You never truly arrive, because growth is infinite. And the real enemy, it's not out there, it's inside. It's the whisper that says, "You can't do this." That's the demon. And every day I wake up ready to face it again. Sometimes life feels like a mystery. You think your back hurts? Maybe it's not your back, it's everything else weighing you down. Emotional burdens, regret, self-doubt. I kept asking myself, why can't I get past this hurdle? I examined every part of my being, every memory, every failure, and the answer was always the same. Go back to the beast. Face what you're scared of. Again and again. I promised myself I'd never return to my darkness, but I did. Not because I was weak, but because I had unfinished business. It's in those moments when you say, "I'm not going back," and still find yourself crawling into the fire, that you discover who you really are. If you're willing to go there, to push just one more step further, that's when life opens up. People ask, "How do you keep going?" And I answer, one step at a time. Literally. I ask myself, can I take one more step? And almost always the answer is yes. Embrace the pain. Failure isn't falling. Failure is knowing you can take one more step, but choosing not to. And that choice, that's what defines you. I've learned that the hardest parts of life are the tests that reveal your character, your will, your soul. I've been in races that broke my body, the kind of pain that makes your soul scream, but I wouldn't trade that pain for comfort, because that pain became my confirmation. I had found a new level of self, a level that can't be taught, only earned. I didn't need applause, I didn't need comfort, I just needed that voice inside me to say, let's not quit yet. Because I've asked myself before, where will you end up if you quit? And every time the answer was a dead end. When I finally crossed the finish line of that brutal race, 101 miles, it wasn't just a physical feat, it was a resurrection. I'd done something humanly impossible in a body that was broken, in a mind that had already visited hell. That became my new normal. Not the miles, not the running, but the mindset. I didn't want to feel that pain again, but I needed to remember what was possible. That became my baseline for what I could do. I realized I had been underachieving my whole life. Even when people called me driven, I wasn't even close to what I could be. That pain recalibrated my life. It showed me that action, not talk, is what separates the committed from the comfortable. The 1-second decision. Everyone talks about motivation, but motivation is weak. It fades. Action is what matters. And action starts in a single second, 1 second of choice. You could be in freezing water, life flashing before your eyes, and your mind will scream, "Get out!" That's the second where most people quit. But what separates the elite, the extraordinary, the unstoppable, is what they do in that second. When the pain is unbearable, when your mind is spinning, when all logic disappears, you've got to gain control. Calm the storm inside. That's the only way forward, because pain clouds judgment. In those moments, it's not about being a Navy SEAL, a millionaire, or a success story. It's about winning the war inside your head. If you fail that 1 second, it could be the end of everything. Your dream, your future, your legacy. That's how powerful your mind is. You either control it or it controls you. You've got to learn to be your own motivator, your own coach, your own champion, because not everyone is going to cheer for you. In fact, most won't. Some will doubt you, some will mock you. Some will resent your fire because they've let theirs die out. That's why I study people before I react. Because hurt people, and you don't need to stoop down to their pain. You've got a mountain to climb. Fuel the fire. The higher you go, the louder the critics get. They aren't climbing, but they sure have a lot to say. And you know what? That's okay. I turn that hate into fuel. I make playlists of all the hate messages I get, and I listen to them. While I run, while I grind. It makes me laugh, and it makes me hungry. Because I know who they are. Underachievers. People who didn't bet on themselves. I make them uncomfortable by being a mirror to their mediocrity, and I'm not stopping. I'll keep going until their whispers turn into screams. There are days I don't want to move. I don't want to train. I don't want to fight, but I remember. Belief isn't built in front of a mirror. It's built in the fire. Belief is not just a thought. It's a resume of pain, of proof, of getting it done when everything inside you says, stop. Confidence isn't found in comfort. It's forged in discomfort, in the late nights, in the early mornings, in the sweat, the blood, the grind. Confidence is when you know, deep in your bones, that no matter the challenge, you'll rise. So I started taking the path of most resistance, because I knew the easy path would never lead to greatness. I realized I could outwork anybody, no matter how talented they were, if I just committed to the grind. Own your mind. Own your life. You don't get stronger by avoiding pain. You get stronger by stepping into it. You build yourself in the discomfort zone. That's where your courage lives. That's where your breakthrough hides. It's all in your mind. Peace, happiness, growth, it's all up here. But most people never go deep enough to find it, because going there means facing yourself. And that's the scariest battle of all. The physical standard? That's a distraction. The real standard is mental. It's how you think, how you react, how you endure. That's what separates the average from the elite. There's no limit to the human mind. We are the ones who set the limits. When most people quit, I'm just getting started. That mindset changed my life. My body followed, and I became a force no one could ignore. You don't become great by chance. You become great by choice, by discipline, by doing the things no one else wants to do, every single day. So I leave you with this: get up and get it done. Your future is counting. Remember this: no one's coming to save you. Your dreams, your transformation, your breakthrough, they're all waiting on you. Not tomorrow, not someday, but today, right now. You've made it through storms, scars, and silence. You've already survived the hardest parts. So why stop here? Get up, get focused, get relentless, because the life you want isn't found in comfort. It's found on the other side of action. If this message lit a fire in you, don't let it die. Feed it, build with it, live by it. Subscribe to my channel, Limitless Mindset, for more daily fuel to push past limits and build the life you were born for. And always remember, your mindset is your greatest weapon.